Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Corrine Crafts. I hope you are all well. How about this? Isn't this the most beautiful card? This is my make today for my Thrifty Thursdays, because all I've done is I've raided my scrap box for a couple of little bits of cardstock, just a little couple of bits of cardstock that stuck down. And this was literally in my scrap box from something I made before. Used a little scrap behind here, and then I had some flowers that I'd already got. I love the green in there with the peach. Isn't that so joyous? What a beautiful, beautiful card. And if you watch the video, I'll show you how I made it. Okay, so I am absolutely loving doing these Thrifty Thursday videos. They're so much fun to do, just to show you how you can create wonderful projects out of not very much. So today's project, I'm actually going to use half of this, is I've taken 3 strips of card, and they are 3/4 of an inch wide. Excuse the dog barking. 3/4 of an inch wide, and I'm just going to stick those onto the front of my card, and that's going to be the main decoration for my card. Really aren't going to use very much. I also found in my scrapbook box even a little piece of something that I'd cut out. This was from one of my signature range dies from years ago. It's just a piece left over. It's just one of these. This is how it cut, all like little raw edges. I love this, and we're going to add this as well. So the first thing I have done is I've taken my piece of card. Now this piece of card, I'm going to cut it down, but I decided it was easier to make it a little bit bigger. Stick the card on and then cut it down once the card was stuck on. What you'll see I've also done is, so these are 3/4 of an inch wide, which is, you can see there. Oh no, perhaps I haven't. I've not. I've done them as 1/2 inch wide. I thought I'd done them as 3/4. No, that one's come out a little bit thinner. They were 3/4. There you go. It still work. It still worked beautifully. And I've marked 3/4 of an inch in from there. Don't worry, that's going to be all trimmed off. This is why I say it's all about scrap busting, because like I say, that one didn't come out the size I was expecting, but it's still going to work. So what I'm going to do is, I want this end of the paper. I'm going to pop it on there. So that's just so I can do my first mark. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pop some glue on the back of here. So this is a coated cardstock, but I think it's still going to give a really lovely effect. So I'm just going to pop that on there so I can see. I need glue down to there. There we go. Let's just put on. So this is just a regular Sticks 2 PVA glue, nothing fancy on there. And then I can pop that, find that white mark, that pencil mark, find that pencil mark down there, pop that up. Like I say, I'm going to trim off the top a little bit anyway in a minute, so it'll be fine. So then let's go green next, and we need it to go to roughly there. There we go. So it tells me where I need the glue. And again, I'm using my fine tipped applicator, just that I don't put too much glue on. I don't want it to be oozing out. And then I'm going to put that right up there. Now, one thing you could do is you could actually do them with a little gap in between. Remember, like we did the floating card technique? So you could do it very, very similar. And I think this works even more. I'm going to actually take this one up because I don't like that edge. But I want that flower. That edge is a bit rough. The reason I like this is because, you know, the colours don't all necessarily look like they're going to work together, but they will. They'll work really, really well. So I've just put a little bit more glue onto there, and then I can turn that one over. And again, because I'm doing the sort of butting up technique, I'm going to stick with that. So there we go. That's going to go just there. Let's just burnish that down. And what I'm going to do for a minute is I'm going to actually just trim off the majority of that. Oh, I need that to go up. It's just slipped. There we go. Okay, so I just need that to dry just a little bit. So I'm just going to pause the video while that dries, and then we'll come back to it in a minute. Or what I'll do while I'm paused is I'll trim it down to its final size. Okay, I think that should do. Now, if you wanted to, you could leave it like that. Just have that just like that, and that'd be lovely. But what I'm actually going to do is I found, gosh, we're going back a few years, my burlap embossing folders from Tattered Lace. This is very old, but this is what I like to do, get all of those bits out of your crafty stash. And I also like these because they are 8-inch squares as well, so you can put larger pieces in. So I'm going to pop that into there, and then I'm going to pop it between my cutting plates. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to take that top one off and I'm going to put my plastic shim and my magnetic shim on. Let's see what that does. Let's see. Ah, now you see, I quite like that. I quite like that. That's a much like, I'll show you one that I did. It's got different papers on. Can you see? That's really detailed. Whereas that's just more like a hint. And I'm actually going to go with that because for this, I felt that that one was a little bit too much. It really embossed. What I could have done with actually is maybe putting a piece of cardstock in as well, just to put a bit more pressure on. Can you see the difference? That is with a proper plate combination. That's with it not. But this is what I wanted. I just wanted a little bit over here and just, I actually like that. That really works for what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to pop that now onto a piece of white card that is 1/8 of an inch bigger. So I'm going to come up with a bigger glue nozzle. And look at that. You can see there where it was that little bit thicker. It's really the difference with the emboss. So I think, yeah, that would have made a big difference if I'd have just put in a piece of cardstock. But I'm happy with it. I really, really like that sort of light emboss. So pop that onto there. Because this is, you know, we talk about it, about the rules. You don't have to follow all of the rules all of the time. If something works better for you doing it a different way, then go for it. It's absolutely acceptable. I'm just going to burnish that to make that glue grab. There we go. Is that grabbing underneath there? It's not really, is it? I'm going to put a little bit more glue under here. Come on, squeeze the glue out. There we go. Oh. And then let's just burnish that down. There we go. Right, okay, so doesn't that look beautiful? And I just love that hint of embossing. So what I've got is I've got another piece of paper, of card that's the same design. I'm going to pop that onto there. Now I have put a few bits of foam on the back. Again, it's going to be a lovely quick card to bring together. I'm not going to do anything too complicated. I am actually going to put a little bit of wet glue on there just because I can. There we go. And then this one is going on here. Yeah, I love that. Just that little pop of colour. Again, possibly should have been a clean and simple all white card with just the pop of colour on the front, but I couldn't quite bring myself, could I? Always. And again, I could have gutted the centre out of this card and put that back in my scrap box if I wanted it. Right, now I'll show you this card base. I managed to get this out of a sheet of A4. I cut a sheet of A4 and I've cut 2 panels 5 3/4 in length. Now this panel is the full height of my A4. This one is 7 inches. I remember that. So I've just scored this one at 7 inches, folded it over, and I've got the nice clean line over there, and nobody would know it came. Oh, I don't want to go that way. Nobody would know it came from one sheet of A4. So if you are making cards that are a little bit different, like I said, so this is 7 by 5 3/4, and obviously we know we can get it as a side opening, but as a tent fold, I can still make it work. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I'm loving that effect. And this works because, look, we've got the same paper carrying on through there. Right, now, this is something that I haven't demonstrated for the longest time, just because I wasn't in that crafty place. So what I've got is I've got a sentiment, and I'm just going to pop my sentiment just here, just for you. There we go. And then I've got a little bit of foliage. Again, these were from my... Oh, I need to bring this piece in first. I should have put that on first. Let's lift that up. Let's put this on. I'm going to grab a tape pen, I think, for that. Just because it's easier. I'll use my dotty tape pen. Don't worry too much, because what I'm going to do in a minute is really going to adhere it down. I'll go that way around because I will see those bits. And I want to put that on at... I like to put that on at a nice bit of an angle, just like that. Again, it's just all about adding texture, adding dimension. That was in my scrap box because I've had it for so long. And again, these were just some little bits of foliage that I had left over. I mean, this is looking beautiful already, isn't it? I'm really loving this. Now, this was just, again, I did a card the other day with hearts on. So this is just the reverse of that piece of paper. Just like that. So we put that like that. And at the moment, I've not even glued that down because I don't need to. Now I'm going to come in with some paper flowers. Or I have boxes and boxes and boxes of these. So many. Because I used to use them all the time. What I do, cut off the backs, curl that over, because I find that that actually gives me something for my hot glue to grab onto. Now, what I used to do is I used to make these up in advance. You can see all the wires are left on. I used to make these up in advance and then just have them, boxes of them, ready. But I'm actually going to make this onto the card, so I'm going to be brave and go for it. So I've not glued those down. My hot glue has been on for quite a while, so it's nice and hot. So I'm going to put a nice big dollop on the back of there, and I'm going to pop that one just around here. Straight away, all my foliage is now being pinned in. So I've then got these two peachy colours, which I thought went really well with the peach in there. Now I'm just going to remind myself, I'm going to pop one, I'm going to do that one that way, and I'm going to go that way. So let's put this one on. Nice bit of hot glue. You could do this with pin flare glue, your 3D glue, if you wanted to. That would work. Now, my glue gun has been on for a very long time, so this glue is taking a few minutes to set because, like I say, I got making and then got a bit carried away. So I'm going to pop that one on. Oh, it's just like when I make my silk flowers, push everything close together. So let's come in with a smaller one. I really have the most. I've got these special shoebox storage containers, and all the flowers are colour coordinated. So I've got one box for red and it's full, one box for blues and greens, one box for yellows and oranges, a box for the white. Oh, I've got so many. A whole box just for pinks, because obviously I'm going to use a lot more pinks than most colours. And yeah, there are so many flowers. So let's just slide that into there. Do you see? I didn't need to do anything with the foliage. It's just caught. I've just had to put some more hot glue in. Let me just melt the end of my hot glue. There we go, because then it doesn't wobble. So that will now bond to there. There we go. That was just making sure that the glue stick doesn't fall out, because I've done that many a time. And then put that on there. And that is it. Oh my goodness me. No, it's not it. No, it's not. I nearly forgot. Right, I wanted some pearls, but I couldn't find any pearls in that colour. So I'll show you how I did this. I've got some cream pearls. I've got one of my tri-blend brushes. I've tried it with a normal chisel nib and it didn't work as well. Get one of your brush blend pens. Look at this, because it's an alcohol pen. Look, go over there. Now those ones are nicely dried. Or over here, look. And then you've got gems in the exact colour that you wanted. Every colour you could imagine, or every colour that you've got an alcohol pen, you've now got adhesive gems in. I just think it's just a really good way to do it. So then I can just pop one. Let's go for a larger one. These are a bit sticky, aren't they? There we go. Two. I've just done that one, so it's a bit wet. It is a good idea to let the alcohol pen dry as well. Yeah, it does work. Could have done with some even smaller ones. Oh, where did that one pink to? Flew off. Don't try and colour them on your card, because you will colour the cardstock below. It is always best, personally, I think, to colour them on there. I think that'll do. How about that? Don't you just love that? Oh, I can't just love that. I can't see my just. There we go. Just. Ooh. I'll adjust that in just a minute. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? That's one of my favourite cards I've made for a while. I'm really pleased with that. Just using those scraps out of my scrap box. How about that? I hope you make something like that and share with me. So thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel. If you like that and you love that crafty inspiration, then please don't forget to subscribe. There's lots more videos on the way. Bye for now.